Good morning. If you want to see how we restored this bayonet, put a new handle on it, made a mounting board for it, stay tuned because that's what we're going to do today. Well, good morning and welcome to Memphis Monday 335, year 7, week 23. Today we're going to make repair the handle on a bayonet. My buddy had an old bayonet for an M1 rifle. They're not valuable. They made millions of them, and we're going to replace the wooden part of the handle, and we're going to build a little display case for it. So I think the takeaway is going to be how to repair a wooden handle. They're pretty easy. They look hard when you're finished. It looks pretty good, but they're actually pretty easy. Okay, that's about all I got. Let's knock off the chit chat and get to work. You just saw me cutting out the little wood pieces for the handle. They go in there like that. And now I got to drill holes through. You can see the little holes there. What you do is you drill through using this as a guide, and then you put the other one on, flip it over, and use the other one for a guide. And then we're going to put these steel pins in through the holes, and the threads will actually help bond it to the epoxy. I don't have any epoxy, but I got this urethane. This year at JB Weld urethane stuff I'm going to try. I don't have any epoxy, I ran out. Let's knock off the chit chat and see if we can break something here. You're wondering why I didn't cut the heads off these pins yet, because I have a theory that I can screw these out. Oh, my theory's right. I'm going to clean up and rough up the gluing surface here. It might even be better than epoxy because it looks like it's got a thickener already in it. Well, there's our little glue up. It says that it dries in 15 minutes and it cures in 30, but I'll give it a little more time than that. The next step after it does cure is we'll cut off those pins, and then we'll get on a sander, grinder, and files and whatever to get that handle in shape, and it'll look like it's always been there. Well, let's take the clamps off and talk about what we're doing. Here's our schematic for our bayonet with a wooden handle and display case. So here's our schematic, and here's our bayonet that we were just working on. What we're going to be doing is basically, might put some kind of finish on it on the handle. It's just going to be a display item, but we're fixing this wooden part of the handle right here, and then after we're satisfied with that, we're going to build this display case, which will only be 2 or 3 inches deep. The first step in the carving process is to cut off these steel pins we have through there. Remember, we used a screw. You could use brass or copper or aluminum or whatever you want. I think the original had steel. These are mass produced by the millions, and not really meant to last forever. But don't let this handle making intimidate you. It's really pretty easy. It's easy because really what you got to do is just carve down, sand until the blade itself is going to dictate the shape of the handle. So you just sand down till you meet the handle. Well, there's our little handle. See, one of the good parts about using steel here instead of brass is that we're not setting up a battery, because this is steel also, and they're both going to rust if you don't keep them oiled, so it'll work out fine. Okay, now it's on to the display case. I think I've about decided instead of making a display case, this is kind of a small item for a case, I'm going to make a display board. I have this nice piece of cherry here. I can cut out a board and we can fancy it up, and I think it'll look good. These are display cases. You can put multiple items in them. They have doors and so forth. But let's take a look at the display board. These are all display boards here. But the one that gave me the idea is this display board right up here. You can see that diving knife right there. That thing is displayed on the outside. So let's, there's another display board up there. So let's take that for action. Well, here's our board. Now this thing looks like it's upside down, but it's not. This is the top. The gun barrel goes in here, and we'll center it about like that. Okay, let's put an edge on it. I think instead of using the round over like we usually do, I'm going to use this cove and put this cove in it, which instead of being rounded over that way, it's rounded over, it's convex instead of it's concave instead of convex. Well, I came up with a mounting system here. On the gun, how this bayonet hooked to the gun, it's got a little round eyelet there, and the gun barrel goes through there, and it hangs on that. And then on the back it has this little T-channel. That's the second connection. So it's hanging from the gun barrel here, and then there's a little T-channel connected to the gun stock. So I'm trying to duplicate that to some degree. So what I've come up with is this little bracket. It'll hang on the gun stock like that, on this bracket, and it's overbalanced to the front, and so the stock will lay up against this little block. I'll go ahead and cut this block off and I'll be able to show you better. Okay, I'm going to put just the barest amount of glue on here, because this thing's a press fit and doesn't really even have to be glued. But the glue might act a little bit a lubrication when I put it in there. But this dowel is exactly the right size for this hole, so I may split the wood. So the bracket will go on like this, and I'll hold this little bracket with screws from the other side. Carried the measurements from the other side, and the way I figure it, bracket's going to fit like that on the other side. Now I need to drill some pilot holes. I need to countersink them. Well, I wasn't going to put any glue on this, but I changed my mind. I'm not real happy with my craftsmanship here. Not at all. But I think I've decided to go with these. I don't like those stainless steel screws, so I'm going with these brass screws. Now, brass screws are regular screws, kind of, pyramid shaped, much wider at the top than they are at the bottom, unlike regular screws we're kind of used to, modern screws. So that means you got to have a bigger hole, especially at the top. Well, if you stayed around this long, you deserve to see the big, see if it works. There it is. It does work. Okay, I'll go ahead and mop some stain on it. I'm going to use this same black cherry that I used on the bayonet handle. Actually, I got this tiny can of it because I don't really like it much. But when you buy it, you gotta use it sometime. And I think I get away with that because my buddy didn't ask for a plaque to put this thing on. He just wanted me to put a handle on it. So this is a bonus project. I guess that does it for Memphis Monday 335. Today we fixed up this bayonet for my buddy, put a new handle on it. We made him a display display board he can screw that to his wall and show off his new bayonet in his shop. Made that mounting bracket, which is an original design. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied. That does it for Memphis Money 335. Today we restored this nice little bayonet for an M1 Bayonet rifle. Instead of doing a display case, we changed it up a little bit and did a display plaque. I think it turned out pretty good. We came up with a new mounting mechanism there. So I think my friend will be happy with it. He didn't ask for the plaque. He just wanted a handle for the thing. But I showed you how to do that pretty easy. What else? If there's no video of me trying to attach this bracket right here, it's because I think I lost sound right there. And I probably won't put that out if I lost sound. Alright, like, favorite, share, all the stuff you do on the internet. But most important, make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.